we watched as the Dow Jones Industrial Average took a 1,000-point dive in just 5 minutes. There's fear the slowing growth in China could spill over internationally. NBC's Brian Moore takes a closer look at the wild day on Wall Street.
There is the opening bell.
From the opening bell, it was a roller coaster of a day on Wall Street. The Dow plunging lower, and even lower in just the first 5.5 minutes.
But guys, the Dow's down 1,000 points.
The numbers climbed back, but ended down 588 points.
I've never seen a day with this kind of strange numbers that we have here. 2 new highs, 1,200 new lows on the New York Stock Exchange.
11 months of gains wiped out in 3 trading sessions, largely because of fears that China's economy is slowing down.
They've created demand. They've created commerce when our economy was slowing. Now, China's slowing, and the rest of the world seems to be fairly slow, too.
But the White House says market numbers don't tell the whole story.
What I would encourage people to evaluate is the ongoing strength and resilience of the U.S. economy.
Market analysts say today's volatility doesn't mean it's time for ordinary investors to sell.
Absolutely. This really is a moment to sit tight.
And some see the market glass as half full.
Some think if you're a long-term investor, pullbacks like these can prove to be useful to buy. Get in at a lower level at a sale price if, of course, you're investing for the longer term.
But in the short term, a stomach-turning ride on Wall Street. Brian Moore, NBC News, Washington.
Some are comparing today's plunge to 1987's Black Friday. On that day, the market lost 22% of its value, compared to about 3.5% today. In just a few hours, world markets will open. Their indices are worth hundreds of billions of dollars less than they were just 24 hours ago. The Shanghai Index erased all gains it's made so far this year. This is the second biggest, their biggest one-day loss since 2007. In Japan, the Nikkei closed more than 4.5% lower today. Toyota took its biggest stock hit since the 2011 Fukushima nuclear power plant disaster. The cascading market free fall also impacting markets in Europe. In Germany, the DAX is on course for its worst month in 4 years. In addition to China, Germany is still dealing with the effects of the economic crisis in Greece. That is the worldwide impact, but what does it mean for you here at home? A short time ago, I spoke with the University of Texas economics professor Daniel Hammermesh about the market downturn.
There are always fluctuations. This one's bigger than usual. I wouldn't pay too much attention to it unless you're very heavily involved in the stock market on a day-to-day basis.
So folks with a 401k?
Best advice is keep on putting money in regularly and invest for the long term. The return on stocks over a 50-year period is about 7 or 8%, maybe 5 or 6 after inflation. That's real good. It means your money doubles in purchasing power every 10 or 12 years. Stick with it, be steady, and don't worry about these things.